What's up, guys? We're here with another deck profile. We had a new face today at the tournaments today, so why don't you tell us who you are and what you played?
Hi, my name's Kyle Willis. I played for Team Royal Knights, and I played Toon Adventure today.
Oh, got the sauce, not the sauce. You didn't use your Pegasus voice at all today, so...
I did a couple times, but it wasn't super great.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, let's see the deck profile, man.
All right, well, to start out with the Toons, you got 2 Red Eyes Toon Dragon, 2 Toon Dark Magician, and 2 Toon BLS. These are just the generic tunes everybody plays. This one special summons one from hand. This one can add a tune, spell, or trap, or special summon one from deck. And this one can attack on summon and banish a card. They're cut down to 2 because of the adventure package. The deck is very condensed.
Yeah, we're not playing Magic out here. No summoning sickness.
Absolutely. Moving on from there, we have my honorary tunes, the 3 Black Stone of Legends. These are usually my bait out impermanents or ash blossoms, or I'll make relinquished with these to get rid of annoying link monsters. But normally these are just tribute, summon a Red Eyes from deck to unbrick my hand from tunes that I can't get out of my hand. So these are flexible. You could run 2 if you really wanted to. Hand traps. The classic 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru. There is a combo with Nibiru in this deck that is just absolutely absurd. It has to be run at 3. Can't cut this card for anything. I do side it out all the time, and I side out Ash all the time. It just depends on the matchup.
Yeah, I was definitely wondering about your hand trap lineup because I noticed in our game, like, you never interacted with me whatsoever, so I didn't know if you just never drew hand traps.
I drew Nibiru the first game, but you didn't summon enough times, and the second game, in the third game, I didn't see him at all.
Okay, yeah. I just wasn't sure, so I was just like, I'm just going to play like he doesn't have hand traps.
Then, the adventure package. We have 2 Enchantress, 1 Griffin Rider, not playing Illegal Knight, didn't have room for it. I thought about bumping this deck up to 43 cards, then I would have room for it and other things, like adding extra tunes. But for now, there's just easiest way to play. Also, Adventure Package is really good for baiting out negates so that I can get my tune stuff online, because the hardest thing about playing tunes is when they negate your tune stuff and then half your deck is dead. But if they waste their stuff on the Adventure Package, then you get to pop off.
It seems like this deck has also kind of, like, in a weird way, gotten a little bit stronger because people have moved away from, like, Droll. Because I feel like if you get Drolled on that and all you have is, like, Page Flip or anything like that, you're...
If I know my opponent's playing Droll, I will immediately search out the Kingdom. If not, I'll do the basic contents, Page Flip, or Bookmark, Field Spell.
Got it.
Then the rest of the Adventure Package, triple right, 1 Draco back, 1 Fateful. Didn't have room for 2 Fateful. It comes up all the time, though. If I could make room for it, I probably would. Draco back comes in all the time. And triple right. There are a lot of times when I just use the token to make a link monster, or just like to do whatever. But it's just the adventure package. It works.
There's a reason it's still around.
My pot of choice for today. Pot of Extravagance. These could be Pot of Prosperities, depends on how you play your extra deck. The way mine is, this is easier. It's also just another way to bait out negates. Most of my opponents let me draw cards today. I think they were just waiting to negate the important stuff.
Definitely. That's more or less what I think about when people are like activating the pot cards. It's like, unless it's Pot of Prosperity, 2 random cards, you know, might not help you. So I'd rather just negate what's important.
Then, the cream of the crop, Toon Kingdom, best card in the deck.
Was insane.
This field spell's nuts. It keeps all your tunes from being targeted, so, you know, they can't imperm, no effect veilers. Sword Soul basically collapses.
No Sword Soul players today, though. No Sword Soul
players. You can just keep banishing. They cannot walk over your tunes. They have to banish. Cyclones in the format, so this gets a little harder to keep on the field, but we play plenty of threats that they don't always Cyclone it. The Searchers got 6. You got 3 Toon Table of Contents, 3 Bookmark, searches any Toon card, searches any card that mentions Toon World. This has a secondary effect, though. If Toon Kingdom would be destroyed while it's on the, what would be destroyed at all, sorry, you can banish this card from the graveyard and negate the destruction. So it's a good way to be able to protect this. On top of the fact that it just searches anything, which is crazy. Then we have the way to summon our Toons out of the deck, the page flip. Target 3 Toons with different names. You reveal them, and your opponent picks one at completely random and summons it, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can only use it once per turn, though, so if you draw 2, the play is to play 1, set the other one, and then use it on your opponent's turn. The problem with this deck is that Toon Kingdom does banish for cost. Well, actually, no, it doesn't banish for cost, but it does banish 3 cards face down. So there is a chance when you use it that you will banish key pieces of the deck, but it doesn't happen that often. More often than not, I banish like a table of contents and an ash blossom or something. It doesn't really happen as often as you would think.
It seems like you play enough like names or cards, I guess, to where you can kind of mitigate that randomization in the deck. So.
Yep. And little ruling on this card: if you do not have enough cards if you don't have enough cards in the deck to meet the legal activation of this card, you cannot even activate it. It'll be a dead card in hand. So if you banish 2 copies of the same Toon, you're in a lot of trouble. But it's very rare that happens. Last card in the main, MVP, Comic Hand. Just make everybody play Toons.
Nice.
Take their monsters, make them Toons. They can attack directly. You can protect from Toon World. One of the best plays this is the Nibiru combo. You can tribute off all their monsters, make a gigantic Nibiru token, and then next turn just take it. It's a Toon. It can attack directly. It can just do it all.
That's a nice 9,000 Nibiru token.
The only other favorite interaction I've had with this card is one time I took somebody's Baguska with this, and due to the effect of Toon Kingdom, it could never kill itself.
Oh no!
So I had a permanent defense mode Baguska.
That's cracked. Wait a second. That's so cool.
We go on to the extra deck. Obviously, because we have a level 1, we run the Link Karibo and 2 Relinquished Anima. Relinquished Anima is nuts. You can use this to basically bait out anything because it targets what it points to and it absorbs it. Link Karibo is just Link Karibo. It's pretty self-explanatory. We have 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Dark, 1 Beat Cop. Nightmare Phoenix I hate. You can honestly side it out for anything. I played this once today to pop a Fateful Adventure. It's the only time I've ever used this card in months. Dark is the best Link monster in the game right now, in my opinion. Every deck is playing Dark monsters. So, you just play this, you steal their stuff, and, make Celine, but you didn't hear that from me. Beat Cop from the Underworld. I wasn't running this till today. I didn't get a chance to use it today, but the idea is that I do run enough darks with different names that I could summon this and basically have an extra layer of protection for Kingdom, or any other card I would need at the time.
Actual Chads use this to protect Toon Kingdom, not Mystic Mine. You heard it here first.
We do not play Mystic Mine. Not necessary at all.
So Mystic Mine's for bad players.
Then we have the Climb lineup. We have the Halqifibrax, the Celine, and the Access Code. If you run Effect Veiler instead of any of the other hand traps, you can go Halqifibrax, Veiler, into Celine, into Access Code. It's basically just a way to climb into Access Code. We are only running 1 though, so you can at times banish pieces, but usually it doesn't really make that much of a difference. 2 copies of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon, and 2 copies of number 11 Big Eye. Put the fear of Big Eye back in him.
We're about to steal everyone.
People forget how good this card was. This was the terror back in the day when Xyz format, man. And Red Eyes is really good against tiers. If they don't have a way to out this very quickly, they will very quickly burn themselves for close to 25, 45k damage. And then you can summon a Toon and clean up on the next turn.
The original Tax Dragon.
Then the last 2 in the deck, we have 1 copy of number 89, Diablos Mindhacker. This is really good for a few reasons. Against Sprite, I can use this on turn 1 and get rid of their Toads. Against Tier, I can get rid of their Kaleido Hearts. Basically, this is just, if you know your opponent's running 1 of something, you can very easily make this and get rid of it.
Just hit it.
Because the only reason it's in here is to get rid of 1 of problems. Otherwise, I would never play this.
Hey, I mean, against Sprite, you hit their Toad, their end board becomes significantly weaker.
This is true. Last card is Zeus. Pretty self-explanatory. You gotta seize that
Zeus.
Battle, you make Zeus.
It's Zeus.
Then we go to sideboard. Pretty easy sideboard. Got 1 copy of Red Reboot, 1 Called by the Grave, one DD Crow, and one Harpy's Feather Duster. These are the one-ofs. If I had more DD Crow, I would run them. I only have one copy. Harpy's Feather Duster is pretty self-explanatory. Same with Red Reboot and Called By. It's Floodgate, Eldritch, whatever you want to call it. You know, those decks have to be dealt with, so you have to run outs to them. If you don't, that's how you lose, especially like against Mystic Mine and stuff. You don't run the outs, you're expected to lose. So
Yeah, just draw the out.
3 Droll and Lockboard. 3 Droll and Lockbird, sorry. I chose to put this in tonight. These were Effect Veilers yesterday. I probably would have wished they were Effect Veilers because it would have been more impactful in the matchups I had. Because the one tier player I played, I never saw Droll against him when I sided it, so it never came up.
Typically, unfortunately, how it happens.
Yeah. Then we have 3D Barrier. It's one of the most powerful traps in the format. I can't not run this card.
That's true.
Tier is way too strong, and if I can make this against Sprite, they can't make Gigantic, so they're stuck making Elf. They can't make Toad, they can't make Cat Shark, nothing. I did have one guy on me last week. He made number 29 Mannequin Cat, and he used it to summon Jinzo from the main deck.
What? Jinzo? Hey, you gotta wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait, where's that, man? I need that deck profile.
3 Cosmic Cyclone, best removal in the format. Out your Mystic Mines. Just draw the out. Just draw the out. I drew this every time I needed to out something, except my one game against him when I couldn't see it against Anti-Spell.
Facts.
But every other time I needed it today, it came up. There was one game against Virtual World Adventure where he set Cosmic Cyclone in preparation for my Kingdom, and I ended up drawing this card for turn.
Nice.
And I was able to banish it before I had another card on field, so I was able to clean that game up.
Just quickly on your thoughts about Cosmic Cyclone in particular, I know there's been a bunch of like debate between like Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone, so I'm kind of interested in your thought process of picking the Cyclones.
For this deck specifically, I don't often have fodder to discard for Twin Twisters unless I like dead brick into Toons. But I don't really feel like most decks put up enough back row that I would need Twin Twisters. The only matchup I would need it for is like Eldritch, and that's kind of it. I don't really need it for Mystic Mine because once I out the Mystic Mine, it's over. So I just need the one banish.
Okay. Yeah, again, people kind of have their preferences, and that's kind of how I've leaned a little bit more too. And so I was just kind of curious on kind of just card options.
My last side deck choice, Ice Dragon's Prison. Currently insane in the format, in my opinion. Everything in the Sprite deck is a Thunder monster, so they make Elf. You just go Ice Dragon's Prison, summon one of the little guys, and then banish both of them. And then they have to question their life choices. And then it's not so great against Tier because Tier has so many different types. Tier could run there could only be one, and it wouldn't hurt them that much.
Honestly.
Because they have a million different cards. But it didn't get a chance to come up tonight, but I cited it against Sprite every time, just never saw it.
Yeah, I was terrified when you showed that to me in like the post game, and I was like, oh my gosh, I dodged a bullet there.
But that's the deck profile.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming out and, enjoying our local scene for a little bit. Do you have any shout outs or anything like that?
Yep, shout out to Guild Gaming, North Carolina, that's my locals, and shout out to my teammates, Jonathan and Thomas. Thanks for borrowing my meta deck, so I played this tonight.
Hey, you at least got to say that you sauced up some people with Toons. So.
Oh, absolutely. We went 2-2 tonight. We lost to Tier Element, Danger, and Sprite Box. We ended up beating Sprite Live Twin, and we also beat Virtual World Adventure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the deck profile.
Thank you.